The West is burning, and the reason for that is a lack of forest management. We want to do something about it. We think mass timber sourced from forest restoration projects is the best way to go. You know, I've had some people asking about this movie poster here. The West is burning. How have wildfires impacted you? I had the opportunity to be interviewed for that. It really brings up the importance of forest restoration and forest health. The thing that drives us isn't necessarily the private land ownership, that people are managing their forests and their lands for what they think are the best use of that land, whether it be economic, aesthetic, or ecological. But we're really talking about these public lands, and that's what this film really touched on. These public lands have been neglected, and I'm talking specifically about the public lands in the United States. There's approximately 192 million acres in the U.S. Forest Service, and then I think there's another 232 million acres in the Bureau of Land Management. So we've got a tremendous amount of public land, and forests are the most prevalent. And when we manage forests now, we're managing a lot smaller trees. And we're doing a lot of forest restoration where we're going out there and seeing what the land should handle in terms of the size and composition of trees. And then those logs go to the mills, and then that becomes our product for mass timber, which is great. Problem is, we don't have many mills in and around these forests anymore. And the mills that are still there are still in danger of going out of business because of a lack of supply. A lot of people say, well, it's just global markets, and it's really not. When you have a sawmill surrounded by forests, many of these forests have roads already there, they've been managed in the past. We're not talking about contentious backcountry and wilderness areas, we're talking about the front country, we're talking about where campgrounds and recreation sites are. We need to manage those. Where we're at in Northeast Washington, we still have a robust forest economy here where we can take all the different types of logs to different mills, but they become an outlet and a revenue generator to do that forest restoration work. When you get to places like Colorado, Wyoming, big parts of Idaho, Montana, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, parts of California, even the central part of this state and eastern Oregon, these areas don't have sawmills left. And how do you do restoration work if you don't have a sawmill to help pay for it? Well, you just pay for it. And that's the unfortunate reality. There's a different future that we can have, and that is where we thin these forests in a way that is right-sized for what the forest needs, and we build an industry that aligns with that. But we need to get to it quickly because we're losing forests every year. The mortality of our forests, both by fire, insect, and disease, far exceeds not only the harvest level, but also the growth. Our forests are in atrophy, and we need to do something about it. And I know a lot of environmentalists out there are saying, hey, we don't want to cut the trees because we need to store the carbon in there for climate change. I agree with you to an extent, but if we love it to the point where it burns completely, then what was the point? Because now we've created a massive carbon emission, and we've lost that forest from sucking all of that carbon in from photosynthesis and when it's green. And it takes many, many years for these forests to recover at all. So I think it's just important for us to understand that the West is burning, and the reason for that is a lack of forest management. We want to do something about it. We think mass timber sourced from forest restoration projects is the best way to go. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and we'd love to hear from you in the comments. So please interject with us, give us questions, give us ideas for more content in the future. Thank you very much.